Super Bowl weekend, the class of 2020 will be announced. Joining us right now is a finalist in that class, one of the greatest receivers to ever do it. He amassed over 13,000 yards and made 7 Pro Bowls throughout his 11-year career. He's a Super Bowl champion and member of the 2000s All-Decade Team. He's one of 15 Hall of Fame finalists this year. We give it up for Big Game Torry. Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
Chilling, man.
Okay, now, so just to be clear for people at home, the Centennial class that we're announcing today is different than you being a finalist, one of 15, that will be announced February 1st. Now, I'm a firm believer that you're a Hall of Famer.
Right on, thank you.
You were an absolute beast in your era. Now that the Hall of Fame class, your class, is being announced and the finalists are out there, do you feel like you're getting more respect, and do you believe that you're going to be enshrined in Canton?
I do. I feel like both. I feel like I'm getting, definitely getting the respect that I worked for. And I do feel like I'll be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Will it happen this year? I hope so. It'd be great. But I'm a finalist. This is a matter of when now. And it's just so surreal. Because I said in the past before, my work's done, it's up to the voters, this, that, and the third, and now that I'm a finalist, it's like, yo, this is for real. So I'm calling, talk to Isaac, I've talked to Orlando, just trying to get a feel for what this process is like, and it's really cool, man. So I'm super stoked. My family's excited. Folks back in North Carolina is excited, showing tons of love. So this is what it's about, man. It's great.
It's a tricky thing, Torry. I feel like your teams were so loaded and so good that it almost works against you in the Hall of Fame, meaning Kurt's in, Marshall's in, Orlando's in, and now you and Isaac are both finalists. Isaac for the 4th time. So it's like there's so many of you, it's hard to choose. How does this end? Is it you and Isaac together? Is it you?
Great.
What do you think?
I think it'd be fantastic if we both were to be able to go in together. With the amount of work that we did when we were playing together. But when you look at us separately, I'm actually in a different era than those guys. I think back to my 1999 draft class, and I was doing some research, and the Rams sent me over some stuff. I outpaced the 1999 draft class, my draft class, by 3,000 more yards than any receiver in that draft class. Just that
3,000 more?
3,000 more yards than anybody in our draft class, just in our 1999 draft class. So that in itself is pretty phenomenal.
Sounds kind of yellow jackety.
Yeah, it sounds yellow jackety. And then I was playing in the era with Marvin Harrison, Isaac Bruce, Terrell Owens. Who am I leaving out? Randy Moss.
Steve Smith.
Hines Ward. And I was on the all-decade team with those guys. So that just goes to show you the level in which I was playing. And I was one of the young boys in the group. So it's a tremendous accomplishment. It'd be great if Isaac and I go in together. He's definitely deserving. He'll go in. Hopefully it'll be this year. Clear a way for myself and some others. But a great group of dudes that I played with Hall of Fame players. And I was saying to myself as a young player, if I could keep working to get to that level of what they were playing at, who knows how good we could be as a team? Who knows how good I could be as a player? And they set a great precedent for me.
I find it so fascinating because, Torry, you're a humble guy by your nature. We've had you on the show a million times. This is the type of thing, and Isaac's been on too. Also, not a me-first guy. When it comes to the Hall of Fame, it's like, I have to make my case, because if I don't do it, who will? How has that been for you to say, hey, now I need to bang on the table?
It's been cool. It's it took me a minute to get to this point because I'm not a me guy. It's all about me. Though I have some selfishness. You have to as a player. You know that. As a player, you have to have some selfishness, but it's okay. In order for me to tell my story, in order for the audience to get who Torry Holt is, what I was as a player, I have to tell my story. Just like I just mentioned my 1999 draft class and how I was the all-time leading. I think I had 800 and some odd yards, 12,000, 13,000 yards in a 10-year span. I'm leading in all those categories.
If you take any receiver in a 10-year span, your name is on the list.
I'm the top of that list, not name on the list. I'm the top, number one in that list.
Talk about it.
So to me, that's Hall of Fame worthy. At least have that discussion, have a serious discussion about my case. Not 1 or 2, 3 minutes, a serious discussion about what I did when I was in the National Football League. Not only how I impacted the city of St. Louis and my team, but how myself and others impacted the National Football League.
We are rooting for you. And I want to make a little bit more about you here, even though you are so humble. Your numbers are crazy. I want to talk about what that would look like in 2019, in 2020. What kind of numbers would you be putting up when you see Michael Thomas with 1,700 plus yards? I want to talk about offense in 2019 and what Torry Holt would be and who could stop
Unbelievable numbers. Nobody. Unbelievable
What kind of numbers?
What Mike Thomas is doing.
1,700 numbers?
125 a year? 125 catches a year?
Because of the free access that we now have as receivers, and then I can run routes.
Yeah.
And not only could I run routes and beat man and zone and double coverage, I had awesome hands. I rarely dropped the football, so I could get open and I could catch. So that means I get a ton of receptions and I get a ton of yards, a ton of touchdowns.
What corner could stop you? 2019 corner.
Nobody.
Exactly.
You know, that's just what it is. That's the mentality that you have to play the position. And I had that mentality when I was playing back in the day, but when I was playing during my time, I had that mentality, and I would carry that same mentality into this era.
People don't understand. He's not being cocky. In his era, you got mauled at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
When you went across the middle of the field, you get hit with a forearm by a linebacker.
Well, I had to know we had to know where John Lynch was.
Yeah. And now there's something called defenseless receiver, which means you have to let me catch the ball, which is crazy.
Right.
So he's not lying. But let's get to the Legends community. You're part of the Legends community. You've been out the game since 2009. How have you been able to stay busy? And what advice would you give anybody that's headed into retirement?
Oh, well, I would say get into what you like, what your hobbies are, what it is that you like to do post-retirement.
Yeah.
A lot of guys like to coach. A lot of guys like to run businesses.
Right.
Whatever that is, get into it.
Right away.
Right away.
Yeah.
Use those skills that we learned when we play ball. Use those skills as you go into the next phase of your career. I've been with the Legends community now a year, going on my second year. Obviously, it started in 2013, and our goal is to help former players be able to interact with each other, with their teams, and as well as the league. So I'm excited about that, serving our guys, current and former players, and that means a lot because a lot of times when we retire, some of us crawl under a rock and you never hear from us ever again. Where our Legends community, we try to go out, we try to encourage those guys to continue to stay engaged with each other, continue to stay engaged with the league and their team. So I'm excited to be a part of that Legends community. It's 24 coordinators and directors. I'm a coordinator in the Southeast region. And this past year, we had over 10,000 players sign up in our Legends community. So we're making we're making significant milestones. And we got goals to do even better than that in 2020.
2020, and Torry, you've done high school coaching. This year, you've been chosen as a Senior Bowl Legends captain for the South squad. So we're talking to Coach Holt. What will be your style? Do you just throw it 80 times a game? What are you going to do? How's that going to be?
When it's funny you say that. When I was a coordinator in high school, my kids loved it because it was spread $9.99. Spread $9.99. We was pushing the ball down the field. But I look forward to going to the Senior Bowl because it gives myself and Aeneas Williams will be there. Myself and Aeneas Williams will be coaching the South team.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Tony Richardson and Mike Rucker will be coaching the North team, the losing team. By the way, Mike and Richardson. But it's good to be able to go back and engage with those young, talented kids that's coming to this next level. And we were able to share our experiences and try to help them get ready for that. Last year I was with Deebo Samuels, had a great time being around him and watching him play. He's a fantastic talent, obviously. So gives me a chance to be around receivers that are the next, the next guys. And it's fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
Torry, before we let you go, we've got 4 teams left in the NFL. You mentioned Deebo's 49ers. You also have the Packers. You've got the Chiefs. You've got the Titans. Torry Holt, who will we be seeing hoist the Lombardi Trophy like you did so many years ago?
Wow.
You got?
I like the 49ers and their defense. They're beasts. They can get after you. I like the Titans and where they're running the ball, and their defense is good. This is a tough one. I'll stay in the NFC West. I'll rock with the 49ers.
Okay. 49ers.
The rivals.
NFC West.
Yeah, the rivals. I know this.
Well, listen,
I'm probably going to catch slack from some guys that I played with, Torry. But they're good. They're good.
Let me do a little remix on your name right here. Everybody, please give it up for Torry. Big game. Gold jacket.
Oh! That sounds good. That sounds real good. Thanks for